Hello, what I'm going to do is show you how I make a brand. And basically this brand that I'm making, which you can see here, is a coil that a lot of people call the Basketweave coil. This particular one that I'm going to show you how to make, or the one that I make, is made out of 18 gauge wire. A lot of them are made out of only 20 gauge, but because of the burner that I use, I can use 18, 16 gauge, and so on down to actually, I can even make them use one that, this is 14 gauge right here. But anyway, I'm going to show you how I make it. Some of this is learned from Molly Whitten and other people that I've seen on the internet, and some of it is my own. First of all, one of the key items I use is this particular Milwaukee set. You don't have to use this one, but it's a drill set with the quick change drills. I then take them, cut it off, grind it off, and then sand that down a little bit so they aren't sharp. In this particular case, I'm going to be using a 7/64 one. I believe that's correct, yeah, 7/64 drill bit, and you'll see how this is used. I'm going to be using 18 gauge wire. This would be the wire that I use. You can find it on the internet, and I'll put a link in on it. This is by Jacob's Online Biz. What you do is you basically just cut off a piece of wire you think is going to be the right length. It's relatively cheap, so if you're going to waste some, it's not a big deal. I just cut some off. And then I use a pair of vice grips. This particular set of vice grips has the long point on them. You don't have to have that. You can use any kind of vice grips, just a small set. The way I do it is you take it, put this down along the edge, and then take your vice grips and clamp it very hard right there. Now, you want to make sure sometimes this wire is not annealed. You need to anneal it first so it bends well. And then you just take it and, now, again, this is 18 gauge wire. You can bend it by hand. If you're doing one of the like a 14 gauge wire, you cannot really do it by hand. You have to use a pair of pliers. You just roll it around. Make sure you do it nice and tight. Get it nice and tight around there, and you can just pull it. And sometimes it's a little better just to get a pair of pliers and give it a good pull, and make sure that you're getting it down and getting them tight, because you want to get them fairly tight. So I'll push it down, and again, just keep rolling around. Now in this particular case, I'm going to put about 7 turns in it. I'll check it whenever I'm done here. Put all these turns in. And you can make an, yeah, this one has 6 turns. The one that I have here has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 turns also. So you just make the turns. And you can see that it's a little bit of spacing there. What we'll do is squeeze it together after we're all done. And what you want to do is make sure that this comes out at the same place as this one is right here, if you look. So both these need to come out at the same place. Pop it open, slide it off, and then take your pliers and squeeze it so that it's nice and so you squeeze it like that. You might have to straighten it a little bit. Sometimes it's easier to straighten that whenever it is hot. And then just take and bend this up so it's nice and even. Now, These don't have to be even right here. It'll go into your handpiece quite well. Make sure they're straight. Get them the way you want them. And then what I do is I look and see how they're going to fit into my handpiece. Because sometimes the handpiece that I use, these might not be perfectly even, so I'm going to just cut it off. One thing that's kind of interesting, whenever you cut this, make sure that you're cutting it away from you. If you take a little snipple, those will sometimes fly, and if you don't have safety glasses on, like I don't right now, they will fly into your eye. And I have heard, I've never seen it, where somebody actually had to go to the eye doctor and have it removed. It actually was stuck in it. I'm going to put it in the handpiece. Need to open that up a little bit more so I can get it in. Get that side in. There we go. Let's open this. Open this one up a little bit more. Let's put that away before we lose it. And we'll stick this in. This is a homemade handpiece. And by the way, the reason why I'm showing this or making this video is somebody in our club asked how I make that particular brand or spiral basket weave item. So that's how you do it. It's right like that. And then The next step after putting the dye on it, the Indian ink dye on it, and putting your name on the bottom, making sure that it's good and dry, I then put a coat of paint on it, and I use what is called a dry brush technique. And the paint that I'm going to use this time is a water base, and I just use General Finishes milk paint for that. What I'm going to do is just go ahead and open it up and give it a quick stir. And it's going to be kind of thick, but that's going to be okay. And I'm just going to put a little bit on my teaspoonful on the plate. It's really going to be probably all that I'm going to need. Set that aside. Again, this is General Finishes lamp black paint, and it's going to be a very flat finish. And when I say I use a dry technique, I just go like this, and then you can see how it's not very. I'm not going to paint it like you would laying it on. And I'm just going to do this in order to get it down into the cracks and not put and lose my detail. I found that if I just brush it or roll it with a roller or do something else, you will lose too much of the detail. So I just start just tapping it on, and what I do is I tap it over here just to make sure that I don't have too much paint on it, and tap it on. Now this takes quite a while to do. A lot of times I'll be listening to a book on tape, not a book on tape, an audio book, one of the new audio book systems. It used to be I did it on tape and CDs and all those kind of things.